welcome back to my channel. This is Keto Life with Liz, and I know it's been a while since I've shared this type of content, but today I thought I would post a what I eat in a day type video for you guys. Today is actually Halloween for 2020, and you're gonna see what I ate for lunch, dinner, and also a keto hot chocolate, which is amazing. So make sure that you watch to the end for that. It's been a while since I've posted these type of videos because, as you can probably guess, I fell off the keto wagon for a little bit. Now I'm recommitted and I've been back on. I've been faithfully keto now for just about 11 weeks now, and I've lost 21 pounds so far, which is awesome. And I'm looking forward to losing a bunch more. But I thought that I would share with you guys what I made today for all my meals. Also, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you like this kind of content, please think about subscribing. It's free to do. Also, if you like this type of content or these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. That definitely helps the channel as well. I will link in the description box all the recipes that I made for today, as well as if you want to follow me on Instagram, I post daily of what I eat on my ketogenic lifestyle, and my hope is to make more of these what I eat in the day videos for you guys here so that you guys can see and get some inspiration that way. So thank you again for watching and enjoy the video. Bye. All right, everybody, this is going to be my lunch for today. I'm making enough for my kids to eat with me as well. So right here, I have a bunch of these Tyson blackened chicken strips. I'm going to show you guys here. Sorry. They only have one net carb for 3 ounces. And then I just used the Kirkland cooking spray at the bottom of it. And then I'm gonna roast up some broccoli here. I have olive oil and Flavor God's Garlic Lovers garlic seasoning to go over these. I'm gonna roast these in an oven at 375, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so for dinner, we're gonna have keto enchilada chili and keto cornbread. To start, I'm gonna use about 1 pound of grass-fed ground beef. I'm putting my pan on medium heat, and I'm gonna go ahead and mash up my meat with this handy dandy Pampered Chef tool. I'll link a similar tool from Amazon in my description. And while that's gonna start to cook up, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my Rotel can, my red enchilada sauce can. And I was showing you there my Taco Tuesday Flavor God seasoning. That's gonna go over the meat here in just a bit. Sorry, you guys are gonna watch me struggle with this nifty little can opener. No worries, I got it open. Okay, so while I am prepping the rest of the ingredients, I wanted to point out in the back there, you're gonna see my Ninja slow cooker. What's great about that is it has an option on there for stovetop. So you're gonna see me saute my onion and bell pepper and a little bit of olive oil here in a minute. And I'm gonna go ahead and let this meat kind of brown up. I sped up the video a little bit so you guys wouldn't have to wait for me to cook all of this stuff in real time, as well as it's kind of nice because at this time it's Halloween and it's really loud in the kitchen and living room area. So I wanted to do a voiceover for this section specifically. So right now I'm just chopping up my onion. I know it's not the best angle. I don't have the greatest equipment to do these videos just yet, but I am working on it. So as these videos are produced and coming out, the quality should continue to get better. But thank you for bearing with me as I try to get through this dinner prep. There's the olive oil I used. You see me putting in the onions now, and then I'm gonna grab that yellow bell pepper in just a second. Also, I use Flavor God seasonings for my meat. That's what you see me showing the camera right there. That particular one is called Taco Tuesday. I'll leave a link below for Flavor God. They have a ton of keto-friendly seasonings. I think I have almost everything that they carry, but that's what I have flavoring the meat. So this is more of an enchilada Mexican-inspired chili, if that makes sense. So here I'm gonna set aside the meat for a second to let it cool. I just grabbed that bell pepper, as you can see. I'm really only using about half of the bell pepper, and I'm gonna leave the recipe for this below. It is a family favorite. My kids and my husband and I all love it. Normally, before I was keto, I would add in other types of meat as well, like linguiça or sausage, but I would also add in different varieties of beans, like kidney beans or chili beans. Anything like that would be great in this chili. But everybody here really loves it. So all I did to make it keto, of course, was to take out the beans. And you see me right there adjusting the timer and changing it from the stovetop setting to slow cooker. I cook mine on low, and I did it for about 4 hours today, just so that it can cook while we were out trick-or-treating. I'm adding in the tomatoes, the enchilada sauce, the meat mixture, and the onion and bell pepper are already in there. Now I know this is gonna sound a little unconventional, but there is cream cheese in here. I use about 6 ounces, and I cut it up in little cubes so that it melts better in the slow cooker. So you see me adding that in now, and I'm just gonna stir it around a little bit, and then I'm gonna set it and forget it. And that's one of the best things about this option for dinner, is it's so completely easy and it tastes amazing. Okay, next, this is where I'm gonna make the cornbread. I use super fine almond flour, and I'm gonna measure out about 2 cups, as you'll see there, of almond flour, and I'm putting it in a medium mixing bowl. I also am using coconut flour in this recipe as well, just to kind of give it a little bit different texture that it needs to help bake. So I think I use about 2 tablespoons of that. Again, I'll put the recipe specifics down below for you. Next, I am gonna work on the butter. So this recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of melted butter. So I'm going to add it to a bowl and pop it in the microwave. Typically, I put it in for 30 to 35 seconds, and that helps it to get melted just enough to mix in with all the other ingredients. So I'm showing you right now, I'm gonna use my monk fruit sweetener from Lakanto. This recipe calls for 4 tablespoons, and you can use other brands or other varieties of sweetener. Just make sure that it's a granulated version and not the powdered sugar. And then I added a pinch of salt, and I'm gonna add in half a teaspoon of baking powder. This is one of those ingredients that help to make the cornbread rise so that it has more of a true cake-like consistency, which is what you want. And then I added the melted butter to a larger bowl, of course. And now you're gonna see me measure out 1/2 cup of sour cream. Typically, I like to use the squeezable pouch-like version from Daisy for this recipe because it's so much more convenient to measure out. But unfortunately, I was out and this is all I had, so that is what I used instead. But you're gonna see me set the sour cream to the side just for a second because I'm gonna crack 4 eggs and add those to my melted butter first. And then I'll go ahead and add the sour cream here in just a second, which you will see. And then you want to make sure that you whisk everything and make sure that it's fully combined. You don't need to overmix it or anything. Just make sure that you get it combined because the next ingredient is pretty important. So next to the sour cream, you're going to see a little extract container. That's actually cornbread extract. I got mine from Amazon, and I'll link one below in the description for you guys in case you need to order it as well. But this ingredient is very important because there's no corn in this recipe or cornmeal, so you definitely need this to give it the cornbread taste, or else it's just going to taste like cake or bread. So I highly recommend getting this. Now, also in the recipe, you're going to see that it calls for 3 to 4 droppers full, and I'm putting in like 5 because my droppers weren't really full droppers, so I wanted to make sure that I had at least 4 in there, so that's why I added more. And then now, of course, I'm just going to add my dry ingredients to my wet ingredients. And I know that the camera angle is awkward, but I swear the white bowl is smaller than the gray bowl. And that's why I'm entering the smaller bowl contents into the bigger one, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know, I'm probably the only one that paid attention to that, but still, I just thought I'd let you know. So, also, I wanted to tell you guys about this consistency here. It should be kind of a sticky cake-like consistency, but still very like pourable. If you feel that it's a little too on the thick side, you can go ahead and add a little bit of water. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and grease a 9-inch cake pan. I have also done this recipe in an 8x8 square pan, and it works perfectly fine. Of course, the cornbread itself is just going to be a little thicker, but it's perfectly good either way. So next, you just want to make sure that you spread it out evenly within the pan so that, of course, it bakes evenly. As you can see, I did there. And you bake it on 350 for 35 minutes. For dessert, we have our keto white chocolate hot cocoa. In the pan, I have 1 cup of heavy cream with 1 cup of water. I'm also going to add unsweetened cocoa, Lily's white chocolate chips, and our sweetener. So it calls for 2 tablespoons of the unsweetened cocoa and 1/2 cup of Lily's white chocolate chips. I'm also going to add in our sweetener, which is 1 tablespoon, and then that Flavor God chocolate donut seasoning with some whipped cream. It is amazing. You will thank me later for this recipe because it is truly incredible. But again, I just want to say thank you all for watching this video. If you try any of these recipes, please feel free to comment and tell me below. Thank you again and have an amazing night.